Now, from Arkansas's News and Information Center, this is THV 11 This Morning.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Ashley Blackstone alongside Elise Edie and Sarah Fortner, who's filling in for Tom. Welcome to your August 27th.
Good morning. Feeling good out here?
It feels great.
Nice.
It's really great.
And hopefully we can get this Heber Spring shot. It's one of my favorites when I get to fill in for Tom, because it doesn't look the same when you work evenings or on the weekends because it's the sunset. Well, you always get to see the sun rise out of this photo. We're looking at a bunch of colors up in the sky there. And the water is super glassy. It's very calm wind to start today also. Let's go now into radar and satellite. Nothing on there. It's going to stay that way for the next several days, at least until Saturday. Then we'll start to have something to talk about. I'll be tracking the clouds, I guess, on Saturday and Sunday, because I don't think we're getting much rain, sadly. We're going into your temperature forecast now. By 7:30, low 60s and upper 50s. We're going to warm up quick though, mid 70s into the low 80s for your lunch hour. Still no humidity out there. Well, there is some, but it's not the stifling stuff that we are typically dealing with late August. By the afternoon, mid 80s, not feeling too bad though, feeling mid 80s as well. Here's the difference. You see this hot pink there going up into the southern plains? That's pretty extreme heat. Eventually, this is going to make its way back into Arkansas by next week. We're talking mid-90s are back next week. We're nice for now. Low humidity lives another day. Dried skies, little to no chance for rain in that extended forecast. The heat is on its way back, though. Temperatures will climb next week. I will have a full check of that forecast coming up in just a little bit. First, back to more news.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. Presidential hopeful Dr. Ben Carson is rallying in Little Rock today, hoping to win your vote.
He is just one of many candidates choosing to make a stop in Arkansas while on the campaign trail. Billionaire Donald Trump, Senator Ted Cruz, and former First Lady Hillary Clinton have already paid a visit. Political experts say more candidates are stopping by because Arkansas has more pull when it comes to winning their party's nomination.
Analysts say the primary being pushed up is also an incentive.
They're having to go to a lot of unusual or new places to try to get votes, money, support that maybe they didn't have to the last time.
Republican Carly Fiorina is set to speak here in October. Meanwhile, Dr. Ben Carson will be at the state capitol today at noon.
And the Jacksonville Police Department is considering changing its policy on tattoos.
But they want your input on this first. The current policy bans tattoos on the head, face, or neck. But the police chief says after much research, he doesn't want the department's policy to get in the way of hiring quality employees.
The community is the ones we serve, so therefore they're a very important part in the way we function here at the police department.
So far, the department's post has gotten comments both for and against. Officers are hoping to have the policies reviewed and submitted to the Civil Service Commission by the end of this year.
Most viewed on our website this morning. Right now, the Sherwood Animal Shelter is near capacity. Workers say 17 dogs have been dropped off in the past 3 days, and if any more come, they may have to be euthanized. The shelter says they've avoided putting down dogs for nearly 3 years, but with 30 of the 31 kennels occupied, that could soon become a reality.
We haven't euthanized in space for 2.5 years, so we work really hard with rescue groups and fosters. But if it comes down to it, sometimes a decision has to be made.
The shelter is waiving the adoption fees until Friday. Now, if you aren't able to adopt, you can still donate to the shelter. We have all of that information on our website, thv11.com. 19 kids and counting reality star Josh Duggar is now in rehab. This comes days after he admitted to cheating on his wife and being addicted to porn. On his family's website, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar say they're, quote, deeply grieved by actions that have brought great insult to the values and faith they hold dear. Earlier this year, the 27-year-old admitted to molesting 5 underage girls as a teen. And just this month, reports surfaced that Duggar had an Ashley Madison account, and he confessed to being unfaithful to his wife.
Russellville police say the man accused of exposing himself to students on a school bus is a registered sex offender. Joshua White of Clarksville faces several counts of sexual indecency with a minor. Police say he exposed himself to students on a school bus Monday. A tip led police to White's home, where he was questioned and arrested. Richard Tarver will be in court today. He's the man accused of kidnapping and killing a 90-year-old woman. Her name is Lavinda Counts. It happened back in July. He faces several charges, including capital murder, aggravated robbery, and abuse of a corpse. Counts' body was found July 12th in a cornfield. Police say she had been shot in the head. A memorial is growing now outside of a local CBS affiliate in Virginia that lost 2 of its journalists yesterday. Reporter Allison Parker and photographer Adam Ward were in the middle of a live TV interview when police say Vester Flanagan, age 41, shot and killed them. Flanagan was fired from the station back in 2013. Police say he took his own life after the incident and in a 23-page document described himself as a human powder keg motivated by the Charleston shooting massacre. A Southwest Louisiana police officer is dead after being shot to death while responding to a call about a stabbing. It happened in Sunset, that's about 60 miles west of Baton Rouge. Reports show Harrison Riley Jr. stabbed 3 women at a home. He then reportedly shot the officer, Henry Nilson. Riley is accused of then driving to a nearby convenience store and barricading himself in an office. SWAT was able to get him out with tear gas. The man responsible for opening fire in a Colorado movie theater will spend the rest of his life behind bars. A judge yesterday sentenced James Holmes to 3,318 years in prison. That is the maximum sentence possible. Cheers erupted in the courtroom once sentencing finished. Holmes was convicted of killing 12 people and hurting dozens of others back in 2012. Elise?
Ashley, thanks a lot. Credit cards do serve a purpose, but if they aren't used correctly, they can mean a lot of trouble. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge here with a warning about the potential downfalls of entering the credit market. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today. Let's start with the tips that you list in your consumer alert. You say avoid accepting too many offers.
Sure, and right now we're really talking to some of our young folks who are either entering college or entering the workforce for the first time. And while credit cards can serve a purpose, you can overload your wagon, so to speak, and take on too much credit debt. And so that's what we remind young consumers or new consumers to be mindful that a credit card application is a contract and not to take on too much.
And you have to pay that money back, right?
That's right. And while it seems like a great idea at the time to say, well, I will use this credit card to pay for gas or groceries or to furnish this new apartment or house, it can be costly in the end if you don't pay off that balance every month.
Okay, you also say choose a card based on the cost of credit.
Right, and the cost of credit, whether the interest rate, be leery of low to no interest rate, because while it may be 0 for the first 6 months, it could skyrocket to 21% thereafter. And if you haven't kept up that and paying that balance, that's 21% extra you're paying every month.
Wow. All right. This is one we know, don't always do it, but submit your payments on time.
Right. Submit your payments on time to avoid having a bad credit rating. Make sure if you can to pay the entire amount off each month. Keep your receipts so that way you can check your balances to make sure no one else is adding to your credit, particularly in today's world of the internet and phones where financial information is being stolen and used criminally.
Yeah, that applies to all of our bank accounts. Happens a lot. You also say steer clear of over-the-limit protection. What do you mean by that?
Over-the-limit protection is extra protection that an individual can buy in order to, if they go over their balance limit. And that can be extraordinarily costly. So really be cautious, because those, particularly on those small amounts, when you purchase something that's a small amount, you're over the limit, could end up being more than what you've purchased.
Okay, so steer clear of those. And also, you know those little words at the bottom of statements, the fine print? You have to read that.
Absolutely, you must read the fine print, and that's what I said at the beginning, that credit card applications are contracts. And so, and once you agree to that, you've agreed to pay that amount, you've agreed to pay it every month. So just be careful. Be careful. If you do choose to use a credit card, pay it off monthly, pay it on time. We know that they can serve a good purpose, but just be cautious and wise with your money.
A responsible consumer. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, thanks for the advice today. We appreciate it. Ashley, we'll send things back to you.
Elise, thank you. You can fill up your tank for $1.97 at the Kroger in North Little Rock's Indian Hills neighborhood. That price is down more than $1.50 from where it was this time last summer. Economists are predicting that it won't rise significantly for at least a couple of years. Many drivers are enjoying the recent dip in cost.
Between the household bills, groceries, and then on top of that, I'm a student. So yeah, it does help out a whole lot.
Right now, the nationwide average is around $2.65. That's almost $1 less from last year's summer average of $3.45. David's Burgers is expanding to the city of Cabot. This will be the 8th location for the local restaurant chain. A spokesperson says they hope to open by the end of the year or by early next year. Next month, they will open a location near Bass Pro Shops in Little Rock. There's also talks of a location in Little Rock's downtown River Market. Well, just one day separates us from the next stop on our THV in Your Town tour.
Tomorrow, we're hitting the road for Conway. It's one of Arkansas's fastest growing cities. We'll be there with the high school band starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And in the evening, our crew will be live at Simon Park. There will be food trucks, live music, so make sure you come out, stop by and say hi.
Pool Boy from Alice 107.7 will be there too, so it's going to be a good time. In less than a week, Faulkner County will have a new sheriff.
Current Sheriff Andy Schock was appointed by Governor Asa Hutchinson to the state's parole board. Coming up, we'll talk with him live and the soon-to-be interim sheriff, Matt Rice, about the change in command. Sarah?
I also have your forecast coming up. A beautiful sunrise. Should be a nice sunset, too. Stay here. Your forecast is next.